You know that feeling, right? Your car's check engine light flips on, and you just stare at it, clueless. Now what if your body had a check engine light? And what if the tool to figure it all out wasn't at some garage, but it was the phone you're probably holding right now? Well, today, we're going to plug it in.
Okay, so stick with me here. Your body is the most high-tech, high-performance vehicle you will ever own. Seriously, it's got an engine, a fuel system, a whole electrical grid, and just like any car, sometimes things start to feel a little off.
And this is where it gets really wild. Your phone, with all its fancy cameras and microphones, is becoming the ultimate mechanic. It's the one tool that can pop the hood and see what's going on inside without ever getting its hands dirty.
But here's the kicker. We're not talking about some new beta version diagnostic software. We're talking about a system that's been road tested for over 2,000 years. So what happens when your phone can run that ancient checkup like instantly?
It all goes back to this ancient blueprint called the Zhen. That literally means the 4 examinations. It's this whole diagnostic framework for understanding everything happening inside your body. And guess what? AI is now learning to do the exact same thing.
So it all boils down to these 4 key methods. Inspection, which is basically just looking. Palpation, that's touching. Auscultation, which is listening. And olfaction. Yep, that's smelling. Let's see how this ancient art is getting a massive 21st century upgrade.
All right, first up, we've got inspection and palpation, the physical scan. Ancient masters would literally inspect the body's surface. They'd even look at the spot between your eyebrows, called the heavenly garden, for a healthy glow. Then they'd use palpation or touch, feeling your pulse to understand the flow of energy. They were basically reading your body's dashboard. Now check this out. It's kind of wild how perfectly the old maps onto the new. That ancient art of tongue diagnosis, that's now computer vision, which can be up to 95% accurate for things like diabetes. Feeling the pulse, your Apple Watch is already on it, looking for stuff like atrial fibrillation. Checking the skin, we now have these amazing e-skin patches that can track your hydration levels non-stop. Let's get to the other two because this is where things get really futuristic. Auscultation, or listening, and olfaction, smelling. In traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, your voice and your breath are like these invisible chemical readouts. They carry signatures of what's happening with your internal organs and your qi, your vital life force. And this shows you just how detailed this gets. It's not just about if you're loud or quiet. See, a liver imbalance might show up as a shouting or really clipped, sharp way of talking. Or a lung issue could sound like weeping, where your voice just kind of fades away at the end of a sentence, like a battery that's running low on qi. And you might think this sounds a little out there, but get this, modern science is catching up, and fast. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic have an AI that can predict coronary artery disease just by hearing tiny bits of fluid retention in someone's vocal cords. Other AIs are being trained to hear the signs of asthma, Alzheimer's, or even depression, all from the sound of your voice. It's incredible. Then you've got smell. A true TCM master could literally smell a problem from across the room. A heart imbalance might give off a scorched smell, kind of like burnt toast. A kidney issue could smell putrid like stagnant water. And here's the thing, we humans can go nose blind if we're around a smell for too long. The AI, it never does.
And this is where the electronic nose comes in. I know, it sounds like sci-fi, but these are real AI-powered sensors that can sniff out specific chemical compounds that diseases give off. They can literally smell the waste from tumors to detect cancer, or that acetone on the breath smell, like rotten apples, which is a major red flag for diabetes.
But all this amazing technology creates a very, very human problem. It's a classic story, really. The intern versus the master. What happens when the machine seems to know more than the human who's supposed to be the expert?
I mean, put yourself in the shoes of Alex, this young medical intern. A patient speaks into an app for literally 10 seconds. It flags a high risk for heart disease, then confirms the old TCM pattern of heart fire by smelling a scorched odor on their breath. It's amazing, and it's also terrifying, because it took Alex years to learn just a fraction of that. You'd feel that pit in your stomach too. What's my purpose here?
And right in that moment of crisis, the wise mentor, Dr. Zhang, he just drops this incredible line. He sees the intern's fear, he acknowledges how powerful the machine is, but then he opens up this door to a whole other level of healing. There is a 5th examination. So what is this secret 5th examination? It's interrogation. It is the search for why. And this, Right here is where the human becomes absolutely irreplaceable.
This slide lays it all out. The AI is the perfect technician. It gives you the what: heart fire, fluid retention, scorched odor. But the human physician, they find the why. The AI has no idea that a patient is grieving the loss of their partner or that they're chugging coffee all day just to cope. The AI sees data points, the human sees a life story.
And that's exactly why the doctor is never going away. An AI can't measure Shen, your spirit, your will to live. The simple, calming presence of a doctor you trust can release good hormones like oxytocin, while a cold diagnosis from a machine might just pump you full of stress hormones. And when the data just doesn't add up, a master uses intuition, and you just can't code that.
So, what does this future partnership between humans and AI actually look like? Well, it's not about replacing anyone. It's about completely revolutionizing how we even think about a diagnosis.
First off, we go from a single snapshot to a full-length movie. A trip to the doctor is just a 15-minute snapshot where you're probably on your best behavior. An AI on your phone, though, that's a 24/7 movie. It's always there, catching the real you, like that heart fire that flares up when you're screaming in rush hour traffic, not just the calm version you present in the clinic. Next, we start to think bigger about who or what the patient is. Sometimes it's not you that's sick, it's your environment. That same eNose can scan your house for hidden mold, weird chemicals, or other gunk in the air. The AI can diagnose your house. It's like Feng Shui 2.0.
And finally, this technology just erases geography. A master practitioner in New York could diagnose a patient over in London just by looking at a tongue photo, listening to a 10-second voice clip, and analyzing a digital breath print sent from their phone. Suddenly, expertise is everywhere, all at once.
And that brings us all the way back to this really beautiful idea from Dr. Zhang. The machine is a master of probability. It crunches the numbers. It tells you what is likely to happen. But the physician, the human healer, they operate in the realm of the possible. They fight for the outcomes that the data might say are a long shot because they're armed with context, empathy, and spirit.
And so that leaves us with one final, kind of provocative thought. We all live with smart speakers and phones that are, always on, always listening. In this future that's rapidly approaching, when our own devices are capable of diagnosing us 24/7, are they maybe already doing it? And what exactly does that mean for us?